Bum, a bum, 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 a bum, bum, HFR from the floor. Bobby Half, mistrade Matt Davio, the don't, the official don't. He's always been the don't. Sporting a gorgeous Rub Me Shrimp Mojo hat. Just gorgeous. Available at Redbubble. Just search Manja TV, Mangia. You know how this Manja TV starts with man? Matt, did you ever notice that before?
Yeah.
You know, it's all about, it's an Italian word for me.
Maybe you should make it
Vogia. Vagia. Vagia. It's a cooking show.
Vagia rub. Vagia rub.
Vagia rub. Don't rub on your Vagia though.
That's what happened to the umpire in the Louisville, Michigan game.
You had to bring it up. You had to bring it up. Crybaby. There was only one call.
Two outs. The guy's out at second. There was
only one call that mattered in the game, apparently, and then Michigan couldn't. You know,
the third out. He was out. The tag, the throw after.
It is such a lame fucking argument. I mean, my dad would just. I mean, if you came home and started complaining about the refs and why you lost the game was because of the refs, man, he would have none of it. He would have none of it. And he for sure would have had none of everybody gets a trophy. No, I'm sorry. Sit down, shut up.
I'm with him there. So
he's with them there.
But when you have a Louisville grad as your umpire.
Again, so what are they going to say? You can't be from anywhere.
You remember the Ohio State, referee who made the deciding game call too. He was a Ohio State grad. I mean,
you can't be from anywhere. I got to tell you, the NFL. I have
they should have full disclosure where your resume should be at, just like they do with the players. They should tell us where the umpires went to school, who their favorite teams are, and they should not be able to
who they have money against,
who they have money on. Yes,
with money and against money, we need to know that.
I mean, that should be part of the gambling angle. We should start a website that posts where every referee is from, where he lives. I mean, that should be part of the thing, because it actually would change betting odds, and you know this.
It might.
It would. If you are going to allow a Michigan grad to umpire in the Michigan State game, who do you think he's rooting for?
I think he'd just take the umps right out of it. I mean, why do they have them in tennis anymore?
Why do they have a replay in baseball if they're not going to use it?
Because they went to Toronto and the guy thought he was watching hockey.
Gary Bettman, the Weasel.
Man, I don't think I can share. Can I share? Of course I can't share. Lee, what do you think? Crybaby or they got robbed and they should have awarded him the game post? And let me tell you, the country is really enjoying the fact that Michigan got robbed. No doubt about that. Lee shared this or retweeted it or something. Lou Reed's earliest Velvet Underground demos unearthed for reissue. I got to tell you a couple things about Lou Reed, Matt. First of all, I love him. First, and the intro to Sweet Jane from the live album is possibly the best guitar intro in all of music. And he was the guy for sure that gave me confidence with not a strong voice to sing and play anyway, because he plays with just that raw Lou Reed emotion, man. Emotion sometimes enough. Anyway, thank you, Lee, for sharing, and I can't wait to
Sweet
Jane, and I do play a pretty damn good cover of Sweet Jane. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, and you also do quite a bit of heroin, like him.
If it's available, heroin. All right, Matt, we're going to talk price discovery, because actually we do that occasionally. And I want to share again. Hold on. Man, am I having we're going to share again. It was Reuters, a Reuters article about the trade balance. Mac, there was a time and a place where the trade balance, we're all looking forward to CPI, right? We had non-farm payrolls last week that everybody looked forward. There was a time when M2 was the greatest of economic indicators. And for sure, there was a time when trade balance was huge, especially trading currencies. U.S. record export helps shrink U.S. trade deficit, giant reduction, 19.1% month over month reduction in the trade deficit. But one of the big drivers is this here. Petroleum exports increased to a record high 27.2 billion. Why don't we just say, hey, stop shipping oil? You have to use it here. I'm sick of paying $6 at the pump.
That would be, again, you want to talk about resident zoos policies?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that the capitalists would be shut up. We get to sell it wherever we can get the most money from. That's the American way. Right. But at some point when people are rioting because it's $10 a gallon for gas, maybe that's something that happens. I don't know. The other one that I thought that was.
Isn't Gavin Newsom handing out, cash cards for everybody now? I thought that was
just hand out, gallons of petroleum.
Right.
Just come get your gallon. They should use all of the gas cans that they used in Ottawa. You should just take all of those from the protesters, bring them to California.
Canada. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about Canada, because they're done. They're out of the Stanley Cup once again.
And swept out too, Matt.
Swept harshly swept out at home. With you at home.
Your Canadian
with Wayne Gretzky with Wayne Gretzky in the booth.
Man, let's look at crude because
but we still have Tampa Bay looking to even the score lead tonight. So good luck.
Hey,
it'll be 2-2 and it'll be a best of 3 series.
The reason why that trade balance is better is because they're getting $100 and what dollars a barrel now.
118 and loose change.
I mean, that's it's a giant windfall. Definitely. Now tax them. Mm-hmm. Let's go Rangers. Bump. Bring up crude, Matt. Just for once, let's bring it up because we got to talk gambling here in a second. And I just made a bet with Matt, although he wouldn't take the bet. 20-1, we trade 105 this month. He said, I said 107. He said I'm smoking crack on 107.
On the dollar, yes.
On the DXY.
You have 23 days left.
All right. So I got 20-1 on $1. Take the bet. Done. 20-1. We trade 105. That's crude. Crude goes to 130. The dollar's going to 105 for sure.
Crude, the same picture. Buy it if it dips to 110, 115 area. I mean, nothing's changed here. I mean, we talked about it last week when it fell back from.
Let me ask you a question. Don't you think that for sure there's been demand destruction for gasoline in my household?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely trying not to drive. Definitely.
Only on Sundays in the driveway.
Exactly.
Charlie Babbitt is an excellent driver. For sure. All right, man. Let's get
hold on. We're gonna talk a little gasoline futures since we talked about
gassy and natural gas,
not check this out. We made a new high since we last talked about it. It was 408. Now it ran up to 435. Bob, this is not bearish. Still not bearish, and it's not even like if you're shorting this, you're a fool. You're a fool. This is not a short.
Not with Mother Teresa's money, Matt. That's what we're
not saying. With Mother Teresa's money. Yeah, and she's got a lot of it, I'm sure. Where does she live these days?
She lives
heaven or hell. Heaven or hell.
Mountain. Oh, come on. She's the epitome of the best you can do on this planet.
She was not a nice person, actually.
Dig her up and ask. Lee says, dig her up and ask.
By the way, the COVID low on RBOB, 39 cents. Think about that.
When are we going to visit that COVID low?
I don't know if we ever will.
Ever.
Let's
All
talk
right,
a
man.
little housing. Let's look at the HGX index. And the reason I want to talk about it is local housing markets. Again, Bill McBride, Calculated Risk. If you haven't read him for 20 years like I have, plus you should. He writes about 35 different local housing markets. Here's what he's been waiting for: inventories to rise. After inventories rise, what happens, Bob?
Prices come down.
Prices come down.
And do you know why, Matt? Because once that inventory rises, you get to go to one house and say, yeah, but I was looking at this other house. And or you say, you know what, there's 10 other houses exactly like yours.
I'm really not interested in buying. And guess what? Bids will be removed. This is what people don't get. When there are no bids and you have to sell, what happens?
When you have to hit because it comes down in percentages. Hey, Rita.
What's going on over there?
Workers in the house, Matt. Workers
apparently this is always how it works. It starts on the West Coast. The best coast always starts first. Denver, Vegas, where we are, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Santa Clara. Inventories piling up, Bob, piling up.
Hey, Lee says Rita is an ex-girlfriend from years ago. Lee, I got 10-1.
Lovely Rita.
I got 10-1 that my Rita's dumber than your Rita was. 10-1. Or maybe that's why she left you, because she was smarter. Anyway, all right, Matt, let's 10-1. We're all about gambling today.
Right.
Matt, we're getting close to NFL camps, like hitting pads, right? That's in July sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they start late July.
I mean, we're close. We're a month away.
Yep.
It's on our radar. I get itchy this time of year for the sound of cracking of pads. Just
like
double sessions and just get out there and the Bears are predicted to be dead last. Sorry, Lee. The Jets are going to be better than the Bears apparently by ESPN's algo. But man, we've hammered on DraftKings and Penn Gaming for 2 years now. But I got to tell you, let's bring up DraftKings first, because it's got to get a bump coming into NFL. And now you say they've just signed up Oregon as another state as their official sports gambling app.
Not just. They switched about 6 months ago, I think. I mean, it happened sometime maybe after the football season, but maybe after the first of the year. So right around 6 months. But yeah, again, the government, here's my question is, who made the decision to build your own platform when you have DraftKings and Penn Gaming and all these other platforms? And are they still working for the state? And what are they doing?
That's it's a beautiful question about the inefficiency of government, especially when the market always supplies an answer.
Right.
The market always does, and I've said that about digital currencies. Like, the market has already supplied a proxy to the dollar. We don't need a central bank digital currency. The market already did it.
Right. So this thing traded down to just below $10, Bob, and now it's sitting right around 13. And again, looking at 1 year chart, I don't know that again, you only have $12 to zero. I guess that's one way of looking at it.
Here's the other thing too. I mean, let's just think about that.
But
you've changed time frame on me, and my argument goes out the door.
No, we hit the COVID low. I wanted to point out the COVID low. Really, is all I did. So it's fully belt. It's fully TP'd left, right. So now where's the real value? Was 10 the real value and 989 the new low? So I don't know.
Matt, all right, they have earnings coming up?
Not until August.
August is earnings. Oh, that's right. You fractaled way out.
Yep.
Do they pay a dividend?
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Trades 10 million shares a day. No dividend. Hell no. Worth 5.4 billion. Let's take a look at Penn Gaming, which is also worth 5.67. So the enterprise value is the same in both of these entities, right? I don't know who does more in business. I would guess.
Well, go back to their last earnings and see
hold
who
on.
did it.
Yeah, I'm going to do this real quick.
Who had more revenue.
So they do, Penn does, let's call it 6 billion a year, right? 1.5 billion a quarter. And DraftKings, I think, is 4 or 5 times the size as far as revenues. No, actually, that's interesting. They're not. They're much smaller. 417 million per quarter. So about, what's that? 1.6 billion a year in revenues. Interesting. And then I wanted to look also at the European player, which is, what's the name of that company?
Patty Brokers.
Yeah, Patty Brokers. And that's got a 20 billion, much larger, of course, because they've been gambling over in Euro.
Exactly. I mean, they will gamble on how dark somebody orders a piece of toast.
They will gamble on which face the Prince Louis will throw out first.
Totally normal.
Totally normal.
I actually agree with that. That's how bad we are in the news cycle right now. They had to have a child psychologist tell me that a 4-year-old makes faces is normal. Oh, wow. Okay. That's weird. I'm still making faces all the time.
I mean, I think all of them are still kind of sales, but I guess I would maybe buy DraftKings and sell the rest. I don't know. It looks like the trade to me. It's not a great trade. So maybe you do nothing.
I do like the draft. I mean, just because when you looked at that DraftKings chart, I mean, it is dragging on the bottom of a fairly big value range.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Pan American silver, since we talked about silver yesterday. I didn't bring it up, so I thought I'd come back to that from yesterday. We hit a low here recently of 2057, so, but it still looks like it wants to go to the teens here, just like silver itself, as we talked about yesterday. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but silver is still looking ugly. I wouldn't buy uranium with Lee's money. I wouldn't trade platinum with Lee's money. So stay away from these things. They're going lower. All the metals.
Right on. All right, man. We have an incredible correlation developing between yields and the stock market.
Yeah.
It seems you better be paying attention to the 10-year yield in your long short decision making, because it's, hey, listen, and these ebbs and flows, like you got to start noticing them. The earlier you notice it, the better you perform trading.
Yep.
When these correlations become white hot, and man, has it been like, listen, man, the rates came off last night and they just rallied the hell out of the stock market today. Causation, correlation, I mean, and who cares?
I mean, look at it. Up on the bonds here on the right, up, breaking out on the hourly possibly here. Finally, I don't know. It might go to 800 now by the end of the day. I got 2 hours left. Why wouldn't we?
Again, man, and you brought it up.
I mean, I said it this morning. It's a trend day. You just buy the 15-minute, right? The 15-minute trend day it's right there. Don't overthink it.
And there's a lot of room on the midterm profile, especially in the NASDAQ, to cover. I mean, it's.
Mm-hmm. Well, here you are. I mean, we're kind of getting to the top of that weekly range. So they're going to have to do some work here. They're going to have to do some work right now at 720. They got to get by 725 to get to 800. And they may just stop again. We got 2 hours left. Again, it's like, so, I mean, we're already up 300 from the bottom today. What is our expected range today, Bob? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Hold on a second.
What is the expected range?
Matt, I'm gonna demand that you do some math for me.
Okay. Give me the number. Just give me the number.
And we got to roll here soon.
We're rolling. And that's the other thing. Roll. We're rolling this week. I don't like.
It's going to be a big range because it was 682 to 740 So that's 58 divided by 0.17.
341. So Bob, really today I only expect about 750
Based on the range predictor.
based on that range predictor. And again, why wouldn't we go to 800 with that?
Bingo. There we go. See, sometimes you just keep it stupid simple, man.
It's simple.
Do the math. It's a math equation at the end of the day, always.
Yeah. And again, these rollover weeks are weird. And don't forget we have, the realignment of the S&P at the end of this month. Who's thrown in, who's thrown out. That happens once a year, and they're doing that. They do that at the end of June. So there's a lot of that going on, which means to me, I think I expect this month to be choppy, not big up, not big down.
Right on.
And, then you come into the second holiday of the summer, the 4th, and then the third holiday of the summer, Labor Day. So.
All right, man. Hold on a second. That was the sheet. I was just bringing that up to show you. Market Vitals Direct on the homepage. Bingo. Pull it up. All right, that's it, man. That's all we got. I got to get back to drywall.
Because your trade's over already.
My love is drywall.
Personally, I like plumbing.
Well, only 3 things you need to know to be a plumber, Matt. It's true.
Flow.
Well, firstly, the boss is a prick. Secondly, payday is Friday. And thirdly, shit does not flow uphill. That's it. Give him his union card. He's a plumber.
That's it.
It's just like we used to say in electronic trading when we have somebody come in the office and say they wanted to be a trader. We just hand them a mouse, Matt, and see if their right index finger could press the button. And if it can, hey, you're a trader. Sit down, get him a desk. Get him a desk. Look, he's a trader. You can click a mouse. All right, Matt I could tell he's firing right now. He's firing, selling, shorting. That's what he does. Nobody does it better. That's what we got. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share, retweet, plagiarize the broadcast far and wide. Matt, the bacon habanero ketchup and the Cajun hot sauce and the whiskey barbecue sauce are en route and will be available, I would imagine, by this time next week. Manja TV's offering, and of course, some of the Shrimp Mojo rub to go with the bundle. It's all about bundles, Matt. What are you bundling? Bundle up, Buttercup.
Bundle up, Buttercup.
All right, pal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Lee. Thanks for bringing it up. The new pit in Chicago, Matt, the Chicago Board Options Exchange built out a brand new, gorgeous facility.
Peak 6, build it.
It looked fairly similar to that Peak 6 trading room.
It probably is.
But the interesting thing is that options in an open outcry environment actually work better than the screen, for the simple reason that most times people that are doing intricate option plays is just not one strike bid offer, right? It's multiple.
Mm-hmm.
It's multiple, and that's very hard to replicate on screen. So you could just go to the S&P, the spider option pit and say, an iron condor, blah, 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 blah. And the market makers can make you a market fairly quickly.
Kind of like I did with you today on the.
Exactly. 105. Everybody heard it. It's time stamped. $105 index before the end of June, 20-1 on my.
No. 107.
Whoa, no. It was 107, but you said it's not even going to get to 105.
Fine.
I'll make it 105. See, we had an out trade there, but we went to the tape. We just went to the tape.
Fine.
107. You're $20 in. We're like Duke and Duke. We bet the dollar. Somebody turn those machines back on.
By the way, when's the last time you watched that fully uncut? I just watched it maybe a month ago.
Trading Places.
So good.
Oh, it's just phenomenal.
I mean, I hadn't watched it in a while. Uncut, like it's usually.
Let all the customers know, Matt, Mr. Valentine has set the price for pork bellies.
And Beaks
Beaks.
in the gorilla suit with Jim Belushi, who is now an Oregon resident,
Yeah, growing weed, starving. I
growing
guarantee.
weed in Medford,
And starving. I guarantee you. Well,
wondering
he's probably got money, but
wondering where he can get the next acting gig.
All right. Hey Jim, if you're ever in Bend, I'd love to share a bear game and a beer with you. I mean, that sounds fun, doesn't it?
It does.
You bring the blunts, I'll bring the beer. Bingo.
Oh, the pile.
We'll do beer blunt bingo. And again, right back to our PGA tour, along with Ron Popeil and the Pocket Fisherman for the pond action. I still think that's a winner. That's a winner for sure. All right, pal, you have a great day.
Fishing shows. And it's actually perfect because fishing shows, like I only want to watch 5 minutes of it. So, I don't want to fish.
Matt, with the Ron Popeil, it's all sidearm.
Right.
Because, it's this long. You got to sidearm. You can't, there's no overhand casting with Ron Popeil. You put it right into your shin. You'll hook your shin and, that's no fun.
That hurts.
That's no fun.
That might be fun for people that trade uranium and platinum. But,
Hey Lee, jump in on Matt and the rest of the Michigan Nation crybabying about the umpire missing the tag. He was tagged. It's so great. Nothing else happened in the game. They didn't, by the way, forget about the fact that, okay, we missed a call. Now we can't get anybody out and they score 4. They put up 4 on them.
There was 2 on after that out was not called, even though the announcer said he was clearly out.
Well, let's make sure that the announcers are referees now. Okay, go on. We've done that.
Yeah.
All announcers referee games.
And then the guy hit a single. The next guy up hit a single, tied the game, and then the next guy douched one out of there. Boom.
The sound of the aluminum bat crushing Michigan hearts.
Yep.
That's going to be that's a ringtone, if you ask me.
Yep.
That's
it was
a
brutal.
ringtone.
It was brutal.
Hey Matt, are you got a gig at Orange Julius this afternoon? You got a shift you're working? Yep. Beautiful.
Patagonia. I'm working at Patagonia today.
Orange Julius. Give me
I bought this for the Boise State game in Vegas that I went to.
Speaking of lovely Rita. All right. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee.